They didn't want to have to hide that part of their identity anymore. They wanted to make it visible. They didn't want it to sort of get lost in the conversation. And I thought that was really interesting too, right? That they would take advantage of those opportunities to kind of insert themselves or insert that dimension of their identity back into interactions with the teacher or back into interactions with me or with their peers.
How so? If you can tell.
Sometimes students would make jokes about being Mexican at times where they seem kind of like non sequiturs. So then I would talk to them about, well, what, like, why did you say that then? Why did that come up at that point in time? Sometimes the teacher would make a joke that she didn't intend to be a joke about race or ethnicity, obviously, right? She was a very sensitive teacher and a very supportive teacher, but the students would sort of deliberately misunderstand it to kind of put her on the defensive in a way that was really funny, but also could make the situation kind of tense. Sometimes students would kind of jump on somebody else's mispronunciation or error in speech to sort of bring ethnicity into the conversation because somebody had spoken incorrectly or said something a certain way. They would kind of jokingly kind of pounce on it as a way of taking the conversation in a different direction. So they had lots of strategies for doing this, but I think they all had the same effect of taking these aspects of identity that maybe weren't on the surface and kind of, at least temporarily kind of bringing them to the surface. Like, don't forget about this, right? This is still part of our reality.
I'm going to check time because I remember you have slow.
Yeah, see where we are.
We are, I think we've been recording for 23 minutes. We are at 3:50.
Okay. Do you want to ask me anything else or any final? I don't know if you got what you need or.
I feel like I didn't even have to go to my backup questions.
Okay.
I had some backup stuff in case there was
Cool.
a dull conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's not too much.
No, it wasn't. It was enough to poke at all of those things and kind of get a basis on what you found and understanding everything.
Yeah.
So, I really appreciate and enjoyed this conversation.
Good.
It leaves me with multiple directions to one, not only take this time, but two, just to research. So now I'm not stuck. One, I don't have to force an assignment to do something that I don't want to do.
Okay,
I've got
good.
options. I've already
Good.
collaborated, and it was really. There was findings in there that have never influenced me directly, but I can entirely see how it's influenced others. My best friend was undocumented, and he border crossed, and so he.
Oh, wow.
And it was. I've never had to live his life. He's always happy and always social. Always like, hey, let's go get lunch. But it's never. So it interested me. I figured I'm not going to interview him because he's not going to give me, he's going to give me his biased point of view from what his relationship. And then the same goes with being a Mexican in high school. I never got I don't speak Spanish. I understand it a little bit, but I can't go to high school and start speaking Spanish with everyone who's native and a native speaker.
Right.
So, and the hip hop thing, being from Southern California, a strong hip hop culture there. And I've always listened to it, but I've never gone into music development, music making. I've never tried to be a hip-hop. So you had a very good variety of research.
Okay. Oh, good.
So.
Well, everybody's biased, right? So
everybody's biased. Everybody's biased.
There's no view from nowhere.
Yes.
Right? Anthropologists used to think you could be like a fly on the wall.
For the sake of the research, I guess his bias wasn't the bias I was looking for.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But
yeah,
I think I got everything I needed.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, feel free to be in touch. If you're following up on one of these leads and you want to talk about it a little bit more, just let me know. Depending on which direction you go with it, and I'm around. So, and I'll send you those articles too, so you can get some of the background, and you don't have to pay. Ooh. Cool.
Well, that was great.
We did excellent.
Great. Oh,
got
that makes me
everything
happy.
we need. Yeah. More than enough.
Good.
To be very safe, and we won't hear any complaints about audio or